Cihuapilli Rose Amador, and this is Native Voice TV. Well, today we have with us a studio audience, and they're all back there. Hi, everybody! Yay! And I'm trying to decide whether we want to do an Oprah show or a Jerry Springer show. But today we have some blues all the way from Farmington, New Mexico, and he's up for several Native American awards, which are the NAMMY Awards, and you'll be voting on those in the next month or so. But stay tuned, and I'd like to introduce and present Skylar Wolf. Your song, "The Devil's Son." That's right.
Well, there's a story behind that song. Actually, it's not as bad as you think it is. You know, I mean, it's just all right. The misconception, everybody, people throw the devil in there, and everybody always gets scared. And there's like country music and rock music, Stones and then Dylan they got the devil in it. It's just basically about as parents, or as your parents before, there's always someone that comes after your daughter or your son, and you don't want them to be around because they're such a bad influence.
That was you, right?
No, well, sort of. But that was what it was around. And at one time, my grandmother had mentioned when this is way back, she said that, you got to stop hanging around with that girl because, they said that you's the devil. So that was what the song related. And a lot of people, kind of look at that song a little bit differently than it actually is. But it's just a phrasing. Yeah.
What I thought was funny was Skylar he was singing for the Native TANF program, and they were having a picnic, and all the kids they were all lined up where they were just fascinated with him. And so he was singing his music, and I said, you sang "The Devil's Son" and "Whiskey Train" to those little kids. But they liked it.
That's, you mentioned something earlier about what are the kids like. What it is I think it's a combination of just, wow, he looks cool, I like to do something like that. Or maybe, like a lot of the kids, certain songs, it's what you're singing. They kind of have this connection with this voice, and they just stare at you. And I do shows where I can see these kids are just sitting there just looking at me. And I've always given things away, not this show, but I've always given guitars away, and I always see like 2 or 3 kids, and they just sit there and the whole show. 45 minutes of the show, boom, and then I go and hand them that guitar, and they walk away with that. And I think, those certain children have a connection with a little bit more than just what's around them, Maybe it's something that they hear. Otherwise, I don't. You get other kids, they're like all over the place, just running around. But there's certain kids that connect.
Now, you had a big fundraiser in December, right? A Christmas show in South Dakota?
Yeah, we did a coat and jacket drive. I did a Christmas concert there, and I had other artists join me there too as well. My goal is to travel across the country and contribute to these children and just help them as much. I believe that there's no prejudice in these hospitals when these kids are sick.
They're just sick kids.
For instance, you can get a mother or father who are part prejudiced, but when they're in the hospital themselves, what ends up happening is they lose that prejudiceness, because their child is either dying or it's sick and it's not healthy.
Right.
So when they walk out of there as minorities or as another ethnic group, we are contributing these toys from all over the place. They actually walk out with something. Some of their kids die. They walk out with the toy that was given to them. That's all they have to remember. Yeah. And we, as people, actually put that out there together for them. That's just how I see it. That's how we give back without them.
I know when you had the drive, our Sipatsing David Romero, our camera guy, still camera guy for Native Voice TV, bought 25 jackets that out of his own pocket that he sent over, to your drive. And I know a lot of people like to help out like that because you're putting it together, and that's something they can do to contribute.
Indian time.
Yeah.
KKUP.
KKUP Indian
David Romero.
time.
There you go. That gentleman there, he's helped us out with Jack Hyatt as well. They are like a lot of for the needy people out there, and they get a lot of credit for this. There ain't no way we can get our music out there, except through them. I mean, they hear us and they want to come and enjoy the show or something. And they're always bringing
They're
things.
promoting Native people all the time.
They help bring things to them. And
That's
my
true.
cost is usually like, hey, show up, bring a toy, man, I don't care. Go to the dollar store, go pick it up. 50 cents, bring it over, you know, and
Do what you can.
yep, and then I'll play for you, I'll sing for you. That's
Okay,
how
well,
my,
you going to sing for us?
Sure, I'll do
All
one more song
right.
here.
Well, unplug your thing. I don't want you tripping.
How y'all doing? Now that's what I'm used to. Make some noise or something. Now this is the song I was talking about. It's not a bad song. Just gotta read between the lines. You know who you are. This is a two-way street song. Come on now, clap your hands for just a little bit. Hell, shame, no fire. It's the curse of the black rain. She won't look out her window. What she wants hide behind the door on the black angel. The devil's son on the black angel. The devil's son. Every night's the same. The sinful heart calls my name. Thorns has unlocked the door. Thorns and roses for her soul on the black angel. The devil's son on the black angel. The devil's son. Hell, shame, and fire. It's the curse of the black rain. She won't look out her window. 'Cause what she wants hides behind the door on the black angel. Devil's son on the black angel. The devil's son.
Wow, you got him going that time. You hooked up there? But you know, we have to support Skylar. Go to NativeAmericanMusicAwards.com and vote for Skylar Wolf. He supports the community. We have to support him. We're going to vote for Skylar, so there. So, yeah, right? But, so we could probably go to your website as well and find out more information as you learn more on how we vote. Thanks for being with us, Skylar. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Good night.